Hello. How are you feeling? I want to start out this video by thanking you for being a part of this journey with me. It's been remarkable. It's been remarkable for me because I've been able to meet a lot of you virtually who have, those of you that have commented, and then some of you that have just commented in person. And then I'm looking forward to the next set of 90 some more videos that I do where I talk about how wonderful you are, using my own experiences to describe how I feel you are awesome. This video is going to be dedicated towards the systems and the things that you need, the things that you want. I want you to think about the things that you need daily. I want you to think about the things that you want daily. And there's two. There's reasons for both, right? There's reasons for both. Needs. The needs are those are the things that you cannot go out without. The wants, those are the things that are not arbitrary, but those are things that you want. You will work towards them. There are certain obligations that will be required or that you need to do in order to fulfill the ability to have them. So this video is going to be dedicated towards the systems that support you. The systems that support you are what? Your family, your kids, your career, your job, your friends. What else? Your me time. Your me time is so important and crucial to this whole component. And after this video, you're not going to leave that out again, are you? No, because it is that important. And I will explain that. So, systems of support. What are your systems of support? For me, it's my wife. For me, it's my kids, my two girls. For me, it's my mom and dad. Out east. For me, it's my best friend Mark and my friends Nelson and Tommy. For me, it's my other friends that I have layered within my life. And there are varying degrees of which we want them and need them in our lives. They're important to me because they help me understand my connection to life. They help me understand my connection to my frame. They help me feel needed as a man. Yeah, that to me is crucial. They help me understand where I show up in this world and what I can do to help serve them as well as serve myself. My wife, first and foremost. My wife, first and foremost, is one that I have in my life because that type of love is important to me. To be able to have that connection, that female connection, helps me understand who I am. That's for me too. It's what's for me is for her. And that is something I believe that is missing in many of our relationships, where in order to feel ourselves, we feel other people. But where it goes is feel yourself first and then have other people there so that you can understand who you are and what you're doing. And then, what are you going to have in your life? For me, I have my mom, my dad, and my kids. And my kids are, I'll start with them first. They're a great barometer that shows me who I am as a father. They show me who I am as a dad. They show me who I am as I show up. But what I do, in order for them to show me who they are, or who I am, is I decide who and how I want to be around them. That's my choice. And then they decide who they are around me. And how they show up is reflective of how I interact with them. Just like my wife, just like my friends, just like my mom and dad. And they choose how they want to interact with me as well. But that is all important. That is a system of people. That is a connection of people that I have that help form my connection with me. Another piece to that I mentioned is career. Now, I just transitioned from almost 16 years of being a health and safety consultant, and I still am to some degree. But what I'm really passionate about is you. I'm really passionate about you because I have found lots of things about me that I really care about that have helped me become a better version of me, and it hasn't always been great for me. I had some great issues with infidelity. I had some great issues with drinking in university. I had some great issues with just who I was as a person and showing up in this world. And I'm not going to brush anyone aside and say that that's normal, because that should not be normal. However, we get to decide how we want to deal with this, how we want to heal this. And for me, my core wound was I did not feel that I had the emotional connection. I wasn't shown that in many moments of my life from my parents. And they're not to blame. They're not to blame. They had their things going on too. And what we do as a family, we launder things through our family, don't we? We launder different events, and we think it's all about us. In reality, if we could see the bigger picture of what happened to them, then we get to realize how it happened to us, and then we get to reframe the core belief around that. So, my career change has been to change towards wellness, because I want men to feel as good as I do. I want you to feel as good as I do. I want it so badly. And I know you can, because it feels so good to feel much better than feeling sorry for yourself, feeling like you're a victim. And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, but there comes a point in your life where you don't want to feel that way anymore. You don't want to, I'm tired of this. I want to get away from this now. And by away, I mean, I want to heal it, not subvert it, not repress it, not suppress it by turning on Netflix or by going on Tinder and swiping right, or by any of that. I want you to want yourself to feel great. And you do not have to hold yourself back from feeling great while others are out there suffering. While others are out there, you don't have to hold yourself to a level of which you feel like you can't be yourself, because what that is, that's self-worth too. And that also is guilt and shame, which is embedded somewhere in your core belief, which holds you back, which is you standing in your own way. Me time. Me time. Me time is super essential. It's where you get to take everything that you've aggregated, everything that you have learned, and sit with yourself and be bored. Or to sit with yourself and not think, but let things flow. You get to sit by a river like this one and just listen. Just listen to it. Because what you do is you start removing the tension. This is how I've learned it. I started to remove the tension from the stress that I've put in my life, which I have done myself because of all the I am not good at this. How could I possibly want that because it's too much money? Or I'm not going to buy these nutritional supplements because they are $20 more at this store versus going to another store, and I'll just buy the mediocre ones. That's self-worth. That's self-worth. Or I'm not going to buy organic. Anyway, me time is you sitting with you, learning about how you feel, sticking with your uncomfortable stuff, learning to let whatever it is happen. And I'm not going to say it's going to be all fun and dandy for you. There will be moments where it will be painful, and I mean painful emotionally, because you'll get thinking about your wife, significant other, partner. You'll think about some of the problems. But what I want you to do is start reframing that, as I've mentioned in many of my other videos, is to start working through that. So what I started doing when I was doing that, I wouldn't reach for my phone or my camera. I wouldn't reach for Netflix and turn that on. I would sit there and go through that pain, that emotional pain. Because what we do, instead of grabbing a bottle or distracting ourselves with something, is we begin to see what we are and who we are and how we feel. We begin to feel that. And as men, we're not great at that. We're not great at feeling through things, because this is something that women do, and this is something that my wife helps me do. And no, this is for you now. You've got to sit with yourself. So what I have done is I have started learning how to sit with myself through my own pain points. And then I've let myself off the hook, because some of the stuff that I have really worked or not worked on, I've given myself permission to let much of it go. Because here's what I don't do anymore, is if I allow it, if I leave it in my body, it shows up. Guess what it shows up as? It shows up as an ulcer. It shows up as shoulder pain. It shows up as neck issues that I could blame on the pillow the night before because I got a rough sleep, because I was up all night crapping on myself. Me time. Take it. Start planning for it for tomorrow, because you owe yourself an incredible debt of starting. You owe yourself an incredible debt of what you haven't already done. The last thing is your support system, and that is your support system for going to men's groups or hanging out with your buddies, whatever it is, going to the Stampede with your buddies. You need that. That is your benchmark for who you are as a man, showing up within groups. And guess what? You get to teach yourself things that you've learned. And you get, through the nuances and the way that you interact with one another, your behaviors. And these are just some of the things that you go, guys don't pick up all these little things. Guys don't do. Let all that go. Let all that go. We, as men, pick up a lot of things with our subconscious that our conscious mind doesn't register, because we're always sitting in our subconscious, and we do not realize how much we actually radiate out into the world to other men, and how good we are. How about that? When I go out with my buddies, it helps me remember who I am as a man amongst other men. And that's not to make yourself measurable and comparable, but it does give yourself some sort of benchmark. For me, it gives myself some sort of benchmark on who I am amongst other men. And what I do from it is I use it as an opportunity for me to, hey, I'm better at speaking to my buddies about this, or I'm better at being funnier about this. I am not so great at conveying how I communicate about this subject, or how I present. Intimidating or not, or happy or not, all those things. And you'll say, yeah, man, that's something that women do all the time. They just do this stuff. They do, but we do it too. We do it too. We just don't think about it the way they do. And I'm asking you to think about it in another way, not necessarily how they do it, just in a way that you can get it yourself. So, hang out with other men. Go to men's groups. You need it. You need it, because you've lost your connection with yourself. I did. That's why I've got a men's group going with my buddies. I really wanted a support system for my friends and my friends of friends and people that I don't know, because I really want men to have something where they feel like they can go and not be alone, and not continually harbor resentment about themselves, guilt about themselves, and anger about the world. That they could have a place, they could have an outlet to just get it out. Because again, it shows up as pain in your shoulder, pain in your neck. It shows up in some cases as CANCR. It shows up as inflammation. It shows up as gut issues. I see it. I see it all. No judgment. And I will help get you there. So, support systems. What did we say? Family. We talked about men's groups. We talked about me time. And we talked about your career. And your career, man, oh man. Are you happy with it? Are you really happy with it? Because if it's not something you're truly happy with, I want you to be happy with it. If it's something you're just putting up with and tolerating, that is a betrayal to yourself. That is another way that you start to harbor resentment that you've already started, harboring resentment towards yourself because you feel like you're not good at anything else to do, and you haven't taken the time to think about what you could possibly do better that would be fulfilling, that won't be draining your life force versus using your life force to create things. Okay. I love all you guys out there. Thank you for tuning in. I'm really looking forward to your questions, your comments. I always do. Let's do this.